Happy Bears Friday. How are we feeling? Where you guys at? Where are you guys at?
Listen, we got a game face on right now in the Stony Point Grill in Mokina, buddy.
Nice. Got a good crowd over there?
Of course.
We got a great crowd over here.
Nice.
Let Joniak hear from you guys today on a Bears Friday.
Hey, let me hear it. Let me hear a touchdown. Touchdown Bears. Let me hear it.
I don't think they were into doing that.
Wow.
Touchdown Bears.
There are a few adult beverages in on this happy hour.
Amen.
Yeah.
How
was your week this week? Less travel and just at the house hall this week for you guys, right?
Yeah. Good to wind it up this way and get ready for the regular season. Still a lot of stuff to take care of up there, but yeah, I did have a nice time though in Indy. That was a good break from the everyday and really focused on relationship building with players, coaches, scouts, whatever, people you run into, and it was very good. I loved it. I loved being sequestered there, and it was just all football talk, man. It was awesome.
I have not told this to Waddle either, Joniak, and I'm going to tell you too. I was told by Danny Zetterman that we've had an issue lately that I don't know if you've seen these ads on the Metra train stops. Where,
I just saw one in downtown Glen Ellen yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so at all the Metra stops, we have these big billboards that say, your new home for the Bears, ESPN 1000, ESPN Chicago. Download the ESPN Chicago app, and they've got the QR codes there, the Metra station, so you can just put your phone up there, and it will download the ESPN Chicago app to listen to Bears football. Well, now they're being stolen throughout Chicagoland because people want a piece of Joniak and Thayer. I don't know why, but like they have become a hot thing to steal from Metra. And and the station has been informed that they're disappearing throughout Chicagoland around Metro stops.
They're valuable.
Our mugs aren't on there, are they?
No, else they would not be stolen.
Right. No, they would not. They'd be probably messed with a little bit.
Listen, these are collector's items.
Yeah,
that's what they are. Seriously.
Well, maybe we should sign them. Maybe we should sign them and give the money to charity.
There
How about
you go.
that?
That's what I said. I said for the opener against Green Bay, since they're so hot, we should do a miniature version of them and give them away at the gates.
It's a great
idea. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I love the excitement and the passion for the games right here.
Yes.
And it's going to be a fun season.
Hey, Jeff, your thoughts on finding out that Justin is going to play and all of the available starters who aren't out because of injury are going to get some run in this preseason game as well.
Yeah, thumbs up. I'd hope to see that last week as well. So absolutely, get whatever rust needs to be knocked off for a few snaps. Hey, it's not going to tell a whole story. No way, no how. No preseason game does. This is always the game where guys are going to be fighting for whatever roster spots might be left, and to really prove that they belong on the final roster or head to the practice squad. Or, hey, we got to go find something else out there when cuts happen next Tuesday by 3 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm all for it. It puts a little fun back in the game a little bit in terms of what we'll see from both teams because they're both going to play. I think over on Buffalo's side, the head coach is a little hacked off by their last performance in terms of penalties, too many penalties, and they want to smooth things out. This is about making, just look good. Just look good. The results of every play aside, just look good. Make sure you're looking smooth out there.
Jeff, how concerned are you that the list of injuries is as long as it is right now?
I'd be concerned if these were all not sure when they're going to return type injuries, like with Tevin Jenkins. If there was a dozen of those, I'd be freaking out right now. Nonetheless, the attention, which, again, I repeat, I've said all offseason, the moment the season ended in 22, January of 23, the line of scrimmage, what's it going to look like? It needs to be shored up. It needs to be rock solid, both sides of the ball. This is where you're going to be getting the process of winning games because that's how it works in the NFL. And to find out that, at least 4 of the top 6 are banged up right now, that worries me. But in terms of not having any long-term concerns or season-ending injuries, I think they either have dodged a bullet here or, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. I got to trust what the head coach is saying. A lot of these bigger names will be ready for week 1 against the Packers.
Jeff, is Cody Whitehair playing guard again because he probably would have a tough time snapping the football, or is he playing guard again because Tevin Jenkins is out?
I would say the latter is my guess. It's not because of the snapping. It's not his snapping hand. Cody is an outstanding guard. He is the first guy to put his hand up in the air and says, "What do you need?" And I'll do it. And he's been that way since he's been here. So it's not a surprise to me given this scenario. But, I'd like to see, Lucas Patrick healthy then too. So who knows what's going to happen by week 1, who's going to play where.
Do we have any insight on some of the guys or was everyone on the list that didn't practice yesterday, Jeff, is just assumed that they won't play tomorrow?
Yeah, I would probably assume that for sure. I know there was a roster move today with Dante Pettis going to IR at wide receiver and Joe Reed on waived injured, I believe. Joe Reed, the veteran receiver. So, they cleared up some of that issue right there. Other than that, yeah, I would say that's probably fair. Hey, maybe there's a surprise or two we don't know yet. We'll find out in the morning.
Right. Who are you focusing most on tomorrow that you want to see battling for a roster spot?
Oh, my gosh. There's a number. The secondary, how that battle. We haven't seen Terrell Smith in a game yet, so going to see the University of Minnesota cornerback. He had a very spirited battle going on with Tyreek Stevenson, who's moved ahead, obviously, in that bid to start. And I'd like to see how he looks in this scenario. That's number one. More Tyson Bagent. I know people are – this has been a topic all week everywhere, but this is not some slouch quarterback that's come to the Bears here by way of undrafted free agency. This guy had a lot of football under his belt, and he has all the words that I've used are exactly the words that Andrew Joniak used this week to describe him, the poise, the moxie. I think we've all heard that. I've seen cut-ups online from some of the quarterback analysts out there that are praising his footwork and his technique and his rotation. And so that's all comes with it. Learning the offense and putting it all together, that's a whole nother thing. And I just think he has had so much experience, more than just the average college quarterback coming into the league, because he played so much there and put up so many big numbers. Just talking to him, he's already seen and understands every possible concept that comes across his desk as a quarterback now in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to continue to watch and what he does.
I watched a breakdown from JT O'Sullivan last night, Jeff.
Yeah, same one. I saw.
Yeah. And again, he trains a lot of quarterbacks. He knows what he's seeing with a film. And he just explains exactly what you just explained. That, again, there are some throws in there that a lot of guys can and will make. But just what you said about that footwork and the way there's no panic. The footwork is perfect. The way he releases the football, the way he knows how to go through his reads, the way the ball comes out. Again, I don't want to go crazy over it, but again, just the thing that I keep hearing is he looks the part.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I've been saying that ever since the Senior Bowl, when I called that Senior Bowl on Sirius XM this year. I was impressed with how he handled things. And just every practice, there's something he did that made you turn your head a little bit. And, again, I know it's easy to keep comparing. People are comparing him to Brock Purdy and all that. It's not about where he was selected, 7th, Mr. Irrelevant. He's going to start for the 49ers. He had great success second half of that season. It's just stylistically, and I watched so much Brock Purdy in college and watched his tape because I'm an Iowa State grad and was uniquely interested. He finds completions, and I said that to Tyson as well. You're just kind of a guy that finds completions, and that's what he does. So, hey, don't know what it's going to mean. Don't know what it's going to mean, big picture, for that young man. But he's definitely somebody that looks like he belongs for
Jeff,
sure.
With Pettis going to the IR, I believe he was their most shorthanded punt returner.
He sure was.
Velus Jones obviously is now, I guess, that guy. Does this mean, in your opinion, that Velus Jones is on this roster, or if or if somebody's available when cutdowns occur, do you believe that that's still an option for them?
Well, I think everything is on the table. He's banged up right now as well, so I don't expect him to be on the field tomorrow either. There are others on the roster, including Tyler Scott, that can return punts. Again, what's your comfort zone putting a rookie back there? Those are special teams coaches' nightmares, having rookies back there until they prove consistently they can make a clean decision and a clean grab first and foremost. But there are other aspects of Velus Jones' game that, in my opinion, should keep him on the roster. And I just think that speed is so valuable right now to this roster. They've got 4 or 5 guys that can run in the 4.3s, and he's one of them. He did a great job returning kickoffs last year, and I suspect that would continue here in 2023. So don't know what the severity of his injury is or what it is that's keeping him out.
You watching any Chris Jones tape?
No, you know what? I'm not thinking that's something that's going to present itself. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to win another Super Bowl, and he's a big reason why. And I think eventually that'll get hammered out. This is the dance that goes on. I know he's talking tough, and the Chiefs are playing tough, but in the end, this is a Super Bowl contender on a defense that's built around their pass rush, including him, and he's had tremendous success. And, yeah, my partner, Tom Thayer, he'd love it. He keeps talking about it. I just – the practicality of it and what you'd have to give up, I'd rather not give up stuff right now. The Bears are not ready to be that team to give up stuff in terms of first-round picks and all that. So that's just my opinion. I'd like to keep the draft capital right now and continue to build properly and make decisions on your quarterback moving forward.
But Thayer's all in.
He loves the guy, for sure. Yep, and what's not to love? I mean, he's a dominant defensive tackle with a lot of sacks, a lot of forced fumbles, a lot of the good stuff, and I love how he plays. But he just turned 29, I believe, so this will be his year 29, and he wants big. He wants Aaron Donald money, so those agents of his are going to work until they get something similar to that, I'd imagine, and we'll see how it plays out. I don't see play. He's already getting fined a lot of money, and I know that gets made up. However, maybe it gets waived off. Who knows? But in terms of what he can miss by missing games, it's somewhat unrealistic, right?
Jeff, if you feel that way about Chris Jones, I assume you feel even more strongly about Jonathan Taylor not be an option for this team either.
Yeah, I mean, I love, here's a totally different scenario, obviously. You got a ready-made player in both cases, but one's 29, one's 24. He's only 24 years old, and I get all that. But I like what the Bears have done with the running back position now. There's even people suggesting Dante Foreman may not be on this final roster, but I like that player. I like his style. They want to be a nasty, slug-it-out run game. You got Khalil Herbert doing the job, the 5.7 a carry and the 5 yards a carry career average with more opportunity. I still think big things for him. And Roschon Johnson has done nothing but impress us. There was a great conversation the other day with David Walker, the running backs coach, because and I thought this. So you look at him without pads and the kind of a linear body, slender, doesn't have big thick legs as a running back, but then you put him in pads, he looks totally different and he delivers a pop. And I think that is something to keep an eye on here, is where this guy's future is and how good he can be. And I think they have a variety of styles in that backfield to serve the offensive coordinator Luke Getsy well, because he's going to try, as he always does, every offensive coordinator does, going to create mismatches wherever he can, and I think they have a stable of backs here that can get the job done.
So you've heard that Foreman could be on the bubble?
No, I'm reading it. I mean, everybody's writing it. I actually called somebody today. Hey, is this why you guys think this? Special teams certainly does play a factor in some of this too. What can he offer in special teams when you're a backup running back? Yeah. If in fact Khalil Herbert is your number one, because Roschon Johnson is an excellent special teams player.
Yeah, and Jeff, I don't think anyone looks at Foreman and thinks he's a great receiver as well. So, he does certain things really, really well, but he's not one of these complete back. And look, this is the time where everyone is now roster projections.
Yeah,
this is. So everyone's
which is
trying to-
fun, right?
Yeah, of course.
All this is fun. Silvy whacked me on the knuckles verbally years ago when Tom and I used to do these. We used to do these training camp reports. We do 7 a day, every day at training camp. I mean, they've absolutely numbered in the upper thousands of reports we did, and he always say, just play the hits. Tell me what the quarterback's doing. Did anybody get hurt? And we're debating, the 7th wide receiver on the 5th training camp report. But that's what we had to do. We were asked to do it. But I'm looking all over Twitter, and everybody's projecting, and they're arguing over who's the 6th receiver going to be. And to me, it's fun because I'm all about ball. I'm all about football, and I do love it. But the average fan, I don't know if they get into all that. But that's what's going on right now. How many linebackers you keeping because of special teams? How many DBs because of the versatility they play? Can you keep fewer defensive linemen because a lot of these guys can kick inside or kick outside as D tackles or D ends? This is the breakdown that everybody talks about in advance of Tuesday.
Jeff, about a half hour ago, Silvy knocked over a full glass of water, about a 16-ounce or maybe 20 ounces of water on his computer.
Not a good sign.
His computer. If he had done that in the booth to either your device or I know Thayer probably doesn't even own a computer, but if he had.
He's got an iPad, but not a computer.
So if Silvy had poured his glass of water, accidentally knocked it over onto Tom Thayer's iPad, what would transpire after that?
First of all, both of us, we cloud up and rain all over him, number one. And with Tom, there might be a bruise somewhere on the body. Could even be a black eye. You might lose a tooth, and you would not be welcome for a while. Yes. Listen, last year I did spill a cup of coffee. I think we were on the road, and I didn't even realize it because I'm a hands talker. I move and Silvy knows I'm rocking back and forth like I got ants in my pants. But I am a hands talker, and it just missed his zip code. I mean, if there was a dividing line that could perfectly be met, that coffee stayed on my side of the fence. But one drop on the other side, there's trouble.
That was scared
you
coffee
can't be
right
having
there.
that happen.
That was scared coffee.
Yeah, don't be coming in there with any liquids with or without lids. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
You're learning. It's fine. You'll be all right. But come on, be smarter around your laptop, buddy.
Yeah. Well, look, it had to make an excuse.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Tom Thayer would not accept an excuse.
There are 2 tables.
Nor would Jeff Joniak.
Pushed together where I'm sitting, and I didn't see the little crack in the table.
You know what, Jeff? The coach. Coach, I was expecting I was expecting the cornerback to shade on my outside shoulder, not my inside shoulder, and that's why I ran my route the way I did. And I'm sorry that I didn't make the play.
I should have scouted the table better.
There you go. There you go.
I should have known my.
Listen, it takes me back to high school. At Hersey High School, I hit a deep fly ball against Barrington. I was so shocked I hit this pitch off this pitcher that I thought I hit a home run. I get a double. Next guy walks. Next guy wild pitch. Runners on second and third. Next guy walks. I think the bases are loaded because I'm still dreaming about that home run. I start jogging into home. The catcher's looking. He's got the ball cocked in his right hand, and he doesn't know what to do because why am I walking in? Bases aren't loaded. He throws it in the left field. I go back to third. I try to score after touching the bag and get up. And the manager, the late Len Bending, puts his hand in my chest, says, "Don't move," calls time. He had chewing tobacco in his mouth, spraying it all over. He says, "What were you thinking?" I said, "I guess I wasn't, Coach."
You have nightmares about that, don't you? You have dreams about that.
Look how beautifully I just gave you the picture.
Yes. It tells me that that's something that you probably think about once a week.
More than once a week, Tom. Yeah.
What are you going to do to celebrate?
That manager sacrificed a run.
He did.
To teach me a lesson and embarrass me.
What a crazy play all the way around.
That is. Hey, real quick, before we let you go, how will you celebrate the end of preseason football and the gearing up for the regular season?
Yeah, start getting ready for the Packers, I guess.
Yes.
Because things move swiftly. No, I will definitely crack a few cold ones tomorrow afternoon into the evening for sure. Yes, it'll be nice. Good riddance to the 90-man rosters, and I'm trying to come up with thoughts on all these guys, these little nuggets that I put on my board, and A lot of these guys, unfortunately, the sad part of it is, and I just saw a tweet from one of the agents out there, David Cantor, said, hey, keep in mind what's happening here. A lot of these guys will never see another snap in the NFL. So please treat this process with the respect that they've earned by being football players their whole life and trying to win a job. And, and I do get that. So
Such a great point.
It is a tough day, tough weekend for a lot of these players, and some know it's coming. Some refuse to believe it, and I'm always amazed, Tom and Silvy, how so many times I'll look at my information and the stats I keep on guys or the notes, and I'll see this is a guy's like 10th training camp and his 12th team, and I always ask, why you keep coming back? I've asked guys in locker room, why you keep coming back? It's the love of the game.
Love it.
And you want guys like that. You'd rather have that than a guy who's not who's nursing something of an owie and not a real injury, and he just, I can't go today, coach. Well, we'll see you later.
I've sat on that leather couch more than one time receiving the information that I didn't want to get. And it's tough.
Yeah.
And, you pour your everything into it. And fortunately for me, they keep bringing me back. But you're right, Jeff. This may be, for some guys, this will be the last snap they ever take in a sport that they've, loved their entire lives. So.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's a hard sport to play. Obviously, it's a hard sport to win every day, let alone win games. So I have great respect for all these guys that give it a shot and that believe that they can get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeff, great stuff. I will see you tomorrow at Soldier Field.
Coffee
all right.
free.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest
Jeff.
of your day.
There you go. I will be no